The year is 2026. Everywhere around you, English seems to be flowing effortlessly. Videos, meetings, online courses, job interviews, travel conversations, and social media discussions all move quickly. You watch people speak with confidence, and sometimes a quiet thought enters your mind. Why is English still difficult for me? You may know hundreds of words. You may understand grammar rules. You may have watched countless English videos. Yet when it is time to speak, something inside you freezes. Your mind becomes crowded. Words disappear. Sentences break apart. Confidence fades. You start believing that fluency belongs to other people, not to you. But what if that belief is the real problem? What if fluency is not a talent that some people are born with? What if fluency is simply a process that your brain learns through repetition, patience, and daily exposure? The truth is that English fluency is much closer than you think. It is not hidden behind advanced grammar books. It is not waiting inside expensive courses. It is growing quietly inside every small practice session that you complete, even when you feel that nothing is improving. Imagine yourself standing at the beginning of a long road. At the end of that road is the version of you who speaks English naturally. Most people look at the distance and immediately feel discouraged. They focus on how far they still need to go. Their attention stays on the destination instead of the next step. This is where many learners fail. The human brain becomes overwhelmed when it focuses on huge goals. I want to speak fluent English sounds exciting, but it is too large. The brain prefers smaller targets. It prefers today's paragraph, today's conversation, today's 5 new words, today's 10 minutes of listening. When you reduce the size of the challenge, your brain stops resisting. Progress becomes easier. Fluency is not created in giant leaps. It is built through thousands of tiny improvements that seem invisible at first. Every day adds another brick. Eventually, those bricks become a strong foundation. One of the biggest mistakes learners make is waiting to feel confident before they start speaking. Confidence does not come first. Action comes first. Confidence follows action. Think about how children learn language. They do not wait until they know perfect grammar. They speak badly. They make mistakes. They repeat words incorrectly. They confuse meanings. Yet they continue. Their progress happens because they are not afraid of imperfection. As adults, you often reverse this process. You tell yourself that you will speak after you become good enough. But that day never arrives. The more you wait, the bigger the fear becomes. Speaking English is similar to entering cold water. The anticipation feels worse than the experience itself. Once you begin, your brain gradually adapts. The discomfort decreases. The fear loses power. Every sentence you speak trains your mind to become more comfortable with the language. Another challenge appears when you compare yourself with others. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy motivation. You listen to fluent speakers and immediately focus on your weaknesses. You notice their pronunciation, vocabulary, and speed. You forget that you are seeing the result of years of practice. You are comparing your current chapter to someone else's finished book. The comparison is unfair from the beginning. Instead of measuring yourself against other people, measure yourself against your past self. Ask simple questions. Do you understand more English than 6 months ago? Can you read faster than before? Can you express ideas that once felt impossible? If the answer is yes, then progress is already happening. It may be slower than you hoped, but it is happening. Growth rarely feels dramatic while it is occurring. Most improvements become visible only when you look backward. The year 2026 offers opportunities that previous generations could only dream about. English content surrounds you every day. Podcasts, audiobooks, movies, interviews, articles, and language learning apps are available almost instantly. Yet abundance creates a new problem. Many learners consume too much and practice too little. They spend hours collecting resources instead of using them. They download applications, save videos, bookmark websites, and create endless study plans. It feels productive, but real improvement comes from interaction, not collection. The goal is not to find the perfect resource. The goal is to use one resource consistently. A simple story read every day can improve your English more than a library of untouched materials. Consistency beats intensity. Small daily actions defeat occasional bursts of motivation. Your brain learns language through patterns. Every time you hear a phrase repeatedly, the brain starts recognizing it automatically. At first, understanding requires effort. Later, understanding becomes instant. This transformation is called familiarity. Familiarity is the hidden engine behind fluency. The reason fluent speakers respond quickly is not because they translate faster. They do not translate at all. Their brains recognize patterns automatically. You can build this ability too. Listen to English repeatedly. Read similar content multiple times. Revisit familiar stories. Do not worry if repetition feels boring. Repetition is how the brain creates strong neural pathways. What feels repetitive to you feels educational to your brain. Many learners also carry a secret fear of mistakes. They believe every error is proof that they are failing. In reality, mistakes are evidence that learning is taking place. If you never make mistakes, you are probably staying inside your comfort zone. Language growth happens at the edge of your current ability. That edge is naturally messy. Sentences will be imperfect. Pronunciation will sometimes sound strange. Vocabulary will occasionally disappear when you need it most. None of this means you are failing. It means you are stretching your abilities. Every mistake provides information. It reveals what needs improvement. Instead of seeing mistakes as enemies, treat them as teachers. They point directly toward your next level. There will be days when motivation disappears. This is normal. Motivation is unreliable because it depends on emotions. Some mornings you feel excited. Other mornings you feel tired, distracted, or discouraged. If your learning depends entirely on motivation, progress will stop whenever emotions change. This is why habits matter more than motivation. Habits continue even when excitement fades. A person who studies English for 20 minutes every day will usually outperform someone who studies 5 hours once a week. Fluency rewards consistency. The brain prefers frequent exposure over occasional intensity. Even a short daily practice session keeps the language active inside your mind. As your English improves, something interesting begins to happen. You stop translating every sentence into your native language. You start understanding ideas directly. English becomes less like a subject and more like a tool. This moment feels magical because it signals a deeper level of learning. The language is no longer sitting outside your thinking process. It is becoming part of it. You begin noticing English phrases during daily activities. You start thinking simple thoughts in English. You react to English content without needing constant mental translation. These small changes often arrive quietly, but they represent significant progress. The path to fluency is not perfect. Some weeks feel productive, other weeks feel slow. Sometimes you will feel stuck even while improving. This happens because growth is rarely linear. The brain often learns beneath the surface before visible results appear. Imagine planting a seed. For a long time, nothing seems to happen above the ground. Yet roots are developing below the surface. Language learning works the same way. Your listening skills, vocabulary, and understanding may be strengthening even when speaking feels unchanged. Eventually, those hidden improvements appear in visible ways. Now, imagine yourself at the end of 2026. You are listening to English without panic. You are speaking without overthinking every word. You are reading with greater ease. Conversations feel less intimidating. Opportunities that once seemed distant are now within reach. This future version of you is not created by luck. It is created by daily effort. It is built through ordinary days of practice, repetition, patience, and persistence. The journey does not require perfection. It requires continuation. Every page you read, every sentence you speak, every minute you listen, and every mistake you survive moves you forward. Fluency is not a destination reserved for a special few. It is the natural result of showing up again and again. And if you continue taking those small steps, then by the time 2026 comes to an end, you may discover something surprising. The fluent English speaker you were searching for was never far away. That person was quietly growing inside you all along.